UFC 303, by far one of the worst pay-per-views of the year, and all the fight cancellations definitely had something to do with it. The Jamal Hill, it started with Hill, Roundtree, and we ended up getting that snooze fest, crappy fight between Smith and Dolidze. Terrible fight. If Jamal Hill was still fighting against either Alberg or Roundtree, would have been a banger. Someone was going to get knocked out in either one of those fights. And then the main card opener, MVP versus Ian Gary. Boring, disappointing fight. I did pretty bad on picks. Wasn't my night when it came to predictions or who I wanted to win. I give this card a 3 out of 10. Honestly, even a 1. This card was just... I hate UFC 303. And I blame Conor for pulling out. Because if it wasn't for Conor, Yuri Pereira was going to get booked again at some point. And same outcome was going to happen again regardless. But I didn't want to see that happen this weekend. Oh, man. So, Ian Gary MVP. I picked MVP because I didn't think Gary would wrestle. I thought he might shoot an occasional takedown, but I thought he'd try to win the stand-up with MVP. Didn't even try. And MVP can't grapple for shit. Terrible ground game. And he's just going to get completely ran over by everyone he fights in the UFC with any level of grappling. So, yeah, disappointing. But, MVP was piecing him up on the feet, though. Whenever they were standing, Michael Page was winning, which I knew that would be the case. I knew he would win on the feet against Gary, but yeah, oh well. And then Mayra Bueno Silva versus Macy Chiasson. Macy's actually solid. Mayra Silva is just ass. Absolute fraud. Was never that good. Her striking is horrible. She's got bad defense on the feet. Very easy to hit. Very hittable. She can't box. Horrible boxing, striking defense, and overrated grappling as well. She's standing guillotined Holly Holm, but Holly Holm has poor fight IQ, and she literally offered her head on a silver platter to be guillotined, so that's why it happened. But Macy Chiasson is better than... Well, I don't know. Holly might beat Macy, but in an unimpressive decision. But I don't know. I'm going to say Macy's better than Holly at this point in their careers. Because you never see Chiasson doing something as stupid as that. So, Mayra Silva actually fought a pretty good first round. But like I said, she can't strike. Her defense is bad. And she only has pretty much 1 round worth of cardio. She kind of slowed down after the first round against Macy Chiasson. And started getting hit even easier. She kind of did what I predicted her to do, which was attack the body. A lot of body kicks, a lot of knees. But Chiasson ate them body shots and kind of pieced up Mayra Silva when they were at range. And also kind of won the clinch exchanges too. And when she took down Mayra Bueno Silva, I thought that this is where Mayra is going to get a sub. That was my prediction. She actually went for an armbar. But because she has poor fight IQ, she let go of the armbar, took a brutal elbow, bad cut, doctor stoppage, disappointing. And then Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze. Anthony Smith just looked like complete shit. Like, he looked horrible. He just looked absolutely terrible in that fight. The worst he's ever looked. He let Roman Dolidze outstrike him. Anthony Smith just needs to retire, man. Anthony Smith just needs to call it a career. If you can't strike with Roman Dolidze, you're getting dropped by Dolidze, getting outgrinded by Dolidze. Yeah, Smith needs to retire and just stick to his analyst work. He was better. He was never that good, but he was better at least earlier in his 205 days. But now he's just completely washed. Pathetic performance, boring fight. The only fight on here that was good was, the main event wasn't good for me, and I'll get into that in a minute. And then, oh my gosh. Yeah, sorry, what am I saying? This was actually a good fight. Lopez, Ige, last minute replacement for Ortega, who pulled out. I mean, I knew that Diego was going to win a decision just because Dan Ige is almost unfinishable. Granite chin, good submission defense. He's just one of those guys that you're not going to finish and you can only beat him by decision. But I just knew Lopez would just have a stronger start throughout the first 2 rounds, which he did. I mean, the combinations that he landed on Ige are punches that would have dropped KO'd anyone else. So props to Ige for eating those shots. Round 3, Diego started to slow down a little bit. He survived, but yeah, I mean, Ige put up a hell of a fight, but Diego wins. As for what's next for him, I mean, I would say reschedule the Bryan fight, but Bryan says that he already has a fight set for the Sphere at lightweight. He can't say what it is, so I guess that fight's going to go forth. Bryan versus whoever he's fighting at lightweight. I say do Yair Rodriguez versus Diego Lopez. And Lopez, I reckon, will probably win that fight with Yair. Oh my gosh, the main event. Oh my gosh, bro. I'm absolutely depressed, man. Like, this hurts more than the Jamal Hill loss. Because, I mean, I like Jamal, but, dude, Yuri's, like, my favorite 205er. When he won the belt, I was so excited to see him become champ. I was so excited to see him put his belt on the line against Glover and defend his title against Teixeira. Only for him to get injured. And then he was going to fight Hill for the belt. Then Hill gets injured, and he probably could have beaten Jamal. Who knows? But he had a way better chance beating Hill than beating Alex Pereira. And yeah, he fights Alex for the first time. Does exceptionally well. Early stoppage, but based off what we know in this fight, he was probably going to get finished either way. Probably in round 3, Alex would have finished him or just put him out again. Yeah. This rematch kind of went how I thought it would go. I'm heartbroken, though. I really want him to be champ again, man. Alex just keeps beating my favorite fighters. Like, I hate it, man. There was another Alex who kept beating my favorite fighters. Volkanovski, now Pereira. But anyway, yeah, I mean, Yuri just fought like shit the entire fight. He fought horrible. He looked slow. He looked labored in that fight. And what the sad thing is, Alex didn't even look motivated. He was limping because his toe was injured. And he still walked through Yuri. And I had a bad feeling. That was going to happen. I had a horrible feeling. Like, the night before, I just had a strong vision. Like, not a dream, but just a daydream. In my waking life, I just pictured the fight, and I pictured Alex dropping him. And I pictured Alex Pereira, like, I just pictured a brutal, like, knockout where Yuri's eyes are going to the back of his head and he's stumbling all over the place. What I pictured happened. My worst fucking nightmare came true. But a lot of people were picking Yuri, mainly because they wanted to see a trilogy, which that would have been nice. But they also picked him because he was winning the first fight till he wasn't, which is an exaggeration. That first fight was only 2 rounds. It was only a 2-round fight. So it's not like Yuri was dominating that fight 3 rounds to 1 4-0 like Adesanya until he got caught late. It was literally a thing of, you know, the first round happened. Alex was feeling him out. Okay, he got taken down at the end of the first. Yuri did nothing with the takedown. Then round 2, they're opening up. Yuri starts to do well. Alex catches him overextending. But I've kept saying there's so many rematches where a fighter is doing well and winning till they're not, but then they lose the rematch. Like, just because you were winning last time does not mean you're going to win this time. And I just knew that Pereira was going to give a more decisive victory. I mean, the leg kicks didn't do much, but Yuri he fought retarded. He was just so open to that left hook, man. He ate a left hook early in that first round. Like, yo, Yuri cannot take another left hook. The next one's going to drop him, which it did. Yuri went for, like, the clinch once, but didn't really commit to getting the fight to the ground. He needed more takedowns. Didn't even try, which was just disappointing. And then the end of round 1 gets decked by a left hook. I think going for a jab, similar to what happened with Strickland. And yeah, from there, I knew Yuri was done. I knew he was done. And I think that's why he couldn't eat the lead head kick. I mean, that head kick probably would have still dropped him, but he might have had a little, like, he would have at least had more of a wherewithal to, like, avoid the head kick. His defense, he may have seen the head kick coming, but I think because he was already so badly hurt from that left hook getting dropped, I feel like because of that, he just was already out of it going into round 2. So any big shot that would land would just put him out, which it did. And now I'm absolutely sad. Now Yuri will never be champ again. He'll probably never be the same, and it sucks because Yuri would he'll literally beat anyone. He'll beat anyone but Alex Pereira in the division. I think Yuri would beat Magomed Ankalaev. I think he'd finish him by TKO in the second round. Jamal Hill might be able to knock him out, actually. And he might knock him out, but I'm not sure. He could head kick KO him, but he's not Alex, so... But I guess this makes Hill not look so bad after all, huh? Because everyone was shitting on Jamal, saying he's a bum, he's terrible, he only beat an old Glover, but so did Yuri. Yuri also beat an old Glover Teixeira in a less impressive performance against Glover Teixeira. Okay, and Yuri's resume, his resume isn't that much better than Jamal Hill's, but there's double standards amongst the fans. He got smoked, walked through just as easily as Hill did. It just went an extra round longer. But yeah, I also predicted too that he was going to get dropped, he was going to get up and then get put down again. And I did say too, I have a feeling this fight was going to end in round 2 again. When it got announced, I had a feeling round 2 was going to be the round it ended. But I'm sad, man. I'm terribly sad. But yeah, that Pereira left hook, you just cannot mess with that left hook. That left hook is a thing of beauty. It's not just his power, but it's his precision. The way he throws the left hook, the way he's able to land it. And this just begs the question, how good is Jan Blachowicz? He took Pereira to a split decision in a very close fight that he could have won. I don't think he wins a rematch because of age and Alex is just getting better each fight. Jan is getting worse. But I'm just saying how that fight went, dude, he did the best of anyone else at 205 against Alex Pereira, man. The only one not to get finished. And everyone was saying Smith should get the next shot, but he lost to Roman. There's only one man left standing for Alex Pereira, and it is Magomed Ankalaev. Now, Alex will probably take time off to heal his toes, but he has to fight Ankalaev next. Even if it's not in Abu Dhabi. Now, what I think may happen is Alex may take time off. He may get a toe surgery. And I could see them potentially doing Jamal Hill versus Magomed Ankalaev in Abu Dhabi. And I honestly, I want Ank to beat Jamal Hill because I don't want to see Jamal fight Alex again. Alex will smoke him. He'll make it look just as easy as the first fight. No challenge. So honestly, just give Ankalaev the next shot. Come on, Alex. Like, you said you want to fight Magomed because people think he's a bad matchup for you. You want to prove them wrong. Honestly, you'll probably beat Ankalaev. Like, honestly, I don't see anyone beating Pereira for that belt. I mean, Ank can do it, but he has to wrestle, like, from the get-go. He has to train to wrestle. He cannot mess around in the stand-up with Poatan or he'll die. At this point, Pereira just may have to go up to 205 or heavyweight and fight Aspinall. And he'll only lose at heavyweight, like against the likes of John Jones, Aspinall, Curtis Blades. But yeah, at 205, yeah, I don't see anyone else beating him other than Ankalaev. And if Ank can't do it, no one can. I don't think if Israel Adesanya moved up to fight Alex, I don't think he could do it again. I think Alex would knock him out again, unfortunately, especially at 205 with the power that Poatan has. Yeah, Poatan at 205 is just a damn monster. But speaking of Israel, though, I mean, knowing Izzy's luck and fate in this whole lore with Pereira, it seems like lately Alex is just destined to instead of beating Izzy again, at this point it seems like he just meant to just do better than Izzy. So Izzy will lose to Dricus. I'm going to say that right now. Dricus will fucking beat him. And so Pereira goes on to win and look good. Izzy will go on to lose, look bad. And Pereira will go on to look better than Izzy and have a better legacy than Izzy. Unfortunately. But in a perfect reality, Izzy knocks out Duplessis. And then Israel Adesanya could move up. And he could challenge Pereira for that second belt and actually properly prepare for the move. And it's possible Israel might have a good chance. I mean, Alex will catch him eventually, but Israel Adesanya is the only guy to rock him as many times as he did. The only guy to knock him out. The only guy with the level of striking to match Pereira. So it could be interesting, but yeah, I mean, congrats to Poatan. I'm absolutely sad. I mean, I did not want this rematch to happen. I kept saying I did not want to see them run it back right away. I said Yuri needs to take more fights. I said this rematch is too soon, and on short notice, it's not enough time for him to make the adjustments. I said Yuri should fight Jamal Hill. He declined the fight and talked himself into a rematch with Pereira too soon. And we saw it happen, but whatever. Crappy card. But, yeah, I have nothing else to say. But yeah, like and subscribe, and peace out.